So I don't think I should remember too much. I'm hoping it'll feel like a mostly new experience. Why don't we go ahead and hop into it, yeah?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
You know, I will say too, earlier I was trying to fix a volume issue, and I might still have some, but while doing that, I had to restart the game a few times. And when you start the game, it asks you to set the time. And it has like fun dialogue if you do it more than once. Like after you do it the first time, if you do it the second time, it'll say something like, it'll thank you saying that most people skip that step and don't think it's important. And then the third time, it's like, you know what, why don't you go ahead and set your favorite time next time you log in, whatever. So I was already having fun even though I was struggling with technical issues. I'm more hyped for this game. Open up, bitch. Did I hide my office?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Bruh, what? I love that. Oh my god. What if we do it again though?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
All right, that shit.
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Nope,
He had
we just
never
have to
been
go through
trained
it
for
again,
that.
and now I can't open the door.
This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
Can we
Nothing
smash
will
the door
hurt
with this?
me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy.
Oh, sorry guys, I already ruined it.
forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay. Learned my lesson, my bad. I will venture forth bravely.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Everybody but me
No
got
matter
a day
how
off.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wait. Did I turn that off or did it turn off because I walked next to it?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I forgot how toxic you were, narrator. We're not gonna comment on how the windows just point to a white void. Wait. Okay, I just want to make sure these were different numbers. I mean, I'm willing to, turn off their computer for them. I guess I can't give it more input.
Stanley clicked on literally every single door in the office because he doesn't pick up well on cues from his environment.
Okay. Feeling a little talked down to. But maybe I'm kind of a masochist. Maybe I like that kind of thing because I'm just going to keep doing it. Can I open that back? Did I spill that? Shit. I know this is dumb, but the reason I want to go back is to close all the doors. Is that you can't do that, which is toxic. Okay. Maybe you can't. You try behind here. Why is this the one door you can't close? Maybe it's broken.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You're not my boss. My boss is the computer that tells me what to do. Close this door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I want to turn off their computer for them. It's dumb, but it bugs me that
Yes,
some of the doors
a room worth admiring.
close and some of
It
them
had
don't.
really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I'm thirsty.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Okay.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Oh, that sound just happens if you click in general, not like a particular thing. Fine.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
The best employees are the ones that question orders, you know? Fuck. That door closed, right? Yeah, so I probably can't go back, so I guess we go forward.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. What? Really? I'm in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
I can't believe that worked. I can't believe I was able to just jump off and do that. Maybe that was in the original too, like I said. I did play it years ago, but I don't really remember it at all. I remember liking it, I guess. I remember it positively.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. Do you see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
You son of a bitch. Oh, you son of a...
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I don't feel like I was given a real choice. I feel like all of those doors would have led to the same thing. I guess I can't leave.
Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know?
Maybe next
Any
time
level
you go
of
fuck
critical
yourself.
thinking or engagement with your surroundings. Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful.
Give me real questions, I give you real answers.
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ah, shit. Why is that door open again?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Honestly, I didn't see the leaderboard. I was too distracted by the doors.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Yes. I mean, yes, I would.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have
For the record, I was trying to see if I could pull the baby off the thing to make that dot.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Jesus.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there. I'm clearly a writer.
Can I zoom in? I'd like to read what's on that page, but I can't see it. Can I eat? Can I cook? Look at cookbook. Can I sleep? The wind. I don't know what it is, but it's when you step out and you hear the wind and you see the eye. It did gotta get me for a second. I won't lie, it got me for a second. I lost the plot a little bit. I can't even remember how we got down this path.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
I'm dead.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any...
Hold up.
Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley.
He blocked off all the paths. We're just in a big circle.
Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls.
Nope,
something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Before he gets us, run.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Nope. He did not fucking
See, this
do
is
that.
exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
You know what?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Ah, shit. I just...
Hold on. What are you doing?
I'm escaping. I'm not playing your bullshit.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
That guy's amazing. And I fell again. I couldn't see if there was more doors and shit. Imagine it just turns into a horror game, like you piss him off so much. Well, I guess it would be a pretty one-sided horror game, since he seems to control reality, so... It doesn't need to be this dark. Is this not a door? I guess not. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared now. And kinda lost. Ah. The fuck is all that? There's gotta be a zoom button, dude. You gotta let me zoom if you're gonna start teasing shit like that. Jesus. That was also kind of, I guess it's a chair. There's nothing in here. Why was I led this way?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay. And here we are.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, we get it. You're toxic.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, we didn't. We didn't see what was on the other side of that
Stanley
ridge.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I hate you.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper, something darker.
Wait, you can't stop there. Tell me what it is.
Yes, really
Oh, you're a
worth it
dick.
being here. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
We'll
first
figure out
open
what it
door
is
on
next
his
time we
left.
come through. Don't you worry, sweetie.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Is there any way to lower it so that I can reach down there safely? Because there's an open thing, like right there. I should be able to do it, right? I assume landing on a truck won't do it. Is there like a... Ugh. I don't know how far you can fall.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Alright.
I'm not your enemy, really. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I feel like there's got to be a way to make that jump.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there, just a kind of, tingle. But
Boy,
eager
you
to
are a
get back to business,
goddamn devil.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Like a mechanism, something I can control this thing with. 'Cause there's a path up there too.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay, I guess you can't go backwards on it. I was hoping if you hop back on, it'll let go in other directions, but that does not seem to be the case. Dark. Close it. Fuck.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Phone calls are awkward. Let me out. Text me on Discord. Don't do this.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
This dude is a dick.
Sorry,
No, fuck.
but you're in my story now.
You can't treat me like this. I'm a person. God damn it.
This is
Puncher.
a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
No, I'm not pressing that. Get out of here. I press every letter but that. See? Fuck you. I really did that. I really did that like I was showing this fucking guy something. Wow.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I hate this man so much.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I was just trying to have some fun with him, and now he's just beating me down.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't deserve this.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Just spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
He's so toxic.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. This isn't fair. This is a trap, bro. Like, it's not gonna go on until I press that. This is not a real choice. You toxic motherfucker. I hate you. You win. You win.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
To question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Wait, did that count as a button? I just clicked on my mouse. I didn't. Okay. I accepted that was a mouse. that was a button. But come on.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
I've been sufficiently punished. Are you happy? What the fuck?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
It feels like a trap. That's what it feels like. It looked like a trap. Oh shit. See, it was a trap. Who could have known?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
See, I would have been excited until I saw that the narrator is excited. So now that I know he cares, I know I shouldn't be excited no more. Look at this, bro. This does not look friendly or safe.
Okay,
Yeah.
so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I was trying to force the elevator to activate, then jump back outside.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle. Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
For once, I'm gonna do the thing I'm actually supposed to do. Nah, fuck you. I don't need to finish that.
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I hate you.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I guess I'm not allowed to say anything. Where the fuck am I now? It's my office. I'm 427. That's the original place I'm supposed to be. Yeah, shit.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want
Boy,
to show
you
you
must have
something.
lost your whole goddamn mind. I'm not going in a vent.
Oh.
What's wrong with you?
You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Fine. Fine.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Nah. What am I doing? Fuck. I do kind of want to know. Ah, shit. Why is there a...
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Hello? I'm gonna tell the developers on you, dog. Come on.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Honestly, dude, knowing that he likes this place and it's important to him makes me want to take gas and matches to it and burn it all down. Just to get back at him for the wife thing. He's talking like he's my friend, but he's my mortal enemy. I forgot that because I hadn't played the original in so long, but I remember now. That fence goes, okay, yeah, you can't go through the fence, I guess. Alright.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
I don't know if 2013, yeah. I was gonna say you can't have some Game Informers or something over here. I hate y'all for that. British Film Academy. Look at that. Always set to 2013. That's detail. Our First Kiss, My First Car, the release of the Stanley Parable. Was it really in 2013? Why should it be like, I don't know, 2012 or something, and they're just trolling me like, you don't even remember when it was released. Jesus. It is impossible to get this achievement. Don't play for 5 years. Is that a thing for real? Is that a thing for real? Because I might go back and start the original if that's like a for real thing. Is that for a real thing? I gotta... Should I ignore you guys for a second and go check my Steam? Creator surprisingly down to earth. Okay, these are fun headlines. Deals tough choices. A lot of nominations, feeling kind of salty. Bro, you can't put a bench like this here and not let me sit on it and chill.
C'est là, dans la mémoriso, où je me remémore les jours.
It's not even in English.
Je t'ai rencontré, mon amour.
What is this? Is she singing in French? What?
Mais ici, c'est aussi.
Is that the piano?
Où je me souviens de la sortie de Stanley Parable. C'était en 2013, un très bon jeu.
Okay, before we walk in,
Du mois après,
I just want to say this room looks like
les
chill
journaux,
as shit.
mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Don't read any reviews except this one. I love I love when you go to like Steam or anything really, but Steam especially, and you see that exact line. Don't read any reviews except this one. How do you review a game like the Stanley Parable? To describe any one part of it is to risk its ruination. To detail what it has to say about game design, the illusion of choice, the psychology of the gamers to tell you too much. You know what? I thought this was gonna be a funny review. This kind of accurate, isn't it? It's kind of spitting. Comparisons too are going to be woefully inadequate. Perhaps its closest cousin would be Dare Esther, but where Dare Esther wastes the form of interactive entertainment Stanley Parable uses and then subverts it. Where so many games aspire to be more than games... Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Even so, holding the game to the standard of any other title is simply not going to be correct. God damn. So how do you review what has become known as the Stanley Parable HD, the full-scale reimagining of one of the most intriguing mods available online? How do you discuss it, analyze it, and recommend it? That's quite simple. You don't. What is he talking about? She talking about, excuse me? Stanley Parable HD? Person of the year. I like the vibe of the Memory Zone, man. Much less office, much more cabin in the woods.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Okay. I'm not gonna read that. I already subjected people to the voice. Well, maybe I should. I do want to continue Opus Echo of Star Song, so I don't know, dude. Maybe nah. But I should get a little practicing because I think I'm actually gonna narrate the rest of it instead of relying on the voice acting in that game because it's not in English.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the Memory Zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Imagine the irony. I don't remember part of the Memory Zone. Boy, if you don't stop closing doors behind me, I need to be able to backtrack. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
This is meta as fuck. Oh my god.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I don't know why I just went like this motion, like it actually fell on me. Stanley Parable. Very immersive. Feels like a lot of those post-apocalyptic, maybe even zombie kind of games. Drive. I don't think all Steam reviews are, you know, totally fucking awful, but yeah, some of them were kind of... Even that one was more opinion-based, I guess. I guess you just didn't fuck with the vibes, but... Some Steam reviews are... not well thought out.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remember.
The way it started raining and thundering, gray skies. Oh my god. I appreciate the design, yeah. If he says walk into the water and drown yourself or some weird dark shit like last time the lady...
Say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
I mean, I'm not inclined to skip it, so I don't care. Well, okay, maybe for that first part where it was like a long thing that I had already heard. But just generally speaking, no, I'm not really that inclined to skip it. Damn, I was trying to walk off into the water. Really? There's nothing behind here? I like to be rewarded for being, you know, curious, an explorer. Reward my explorer spirit. Come on.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say,
the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination
This should just loop around.
the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't
All right, you're
be.
toxic.
It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've
All right,
eaten too
Ewan,
much and it
you've
can't be
worn me
just
down.
yet, no.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once, that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Wow.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
Oh my God,
manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Will he?
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Treatise.
Manifesto.
I kind of want to see if one of the
Treatise.
words will win, because his whole point
Treatise.
was that he's gonna like
Manifesto.
say them over and over to
Treatise.
see which one he likes better.
Manifesto. Treatise.
What if he never picks one?
Manifesto.
What if we're just here forever? And
Treatise.
this,
Manifesto.
I'm losing.
Treatise. Manifesto.
Talk to me, Bush. Help.
Treatise. Manifesto. Well,
I
there,
can take it.
sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful.
You goddamn...
I have to experience this just one more time.
No.
From the ashes of depression. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait. How do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
This man is toxic. Somebody help. Save me. Not just from this room, but from this guy. I want to live. I want to be free. Tree friend, we've been through times together. Help. Give me your woody wisdom. Do something. Something, please. Help. Help me. He's not coming back. He abandoned me. Look, asshole, I don't believe in you. That's that.
Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, I know you too well. You'll be leaving me oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who
now that
they
he's
are.
looping,
What
I'm
would
gonna try
it
to talk
ever really
over
matter?
him.
But
Like,
here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing
what
that
I'm hearing
anyone
is he
ever
had
says
12
about me.
hours
The
to find
merest
me a
mention
fucking
of
door
one of
and
my
he failed.
imperfections, and I become as
And now he can't wonder why I'm
impetulant
gonna
as a
press this
child.
fucking.
Wild
Now he
and
wonders why I'm gonna
impulsive.
press
I
this
can't
button.
help myself. I can't. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my goodness, I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me, When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it, to think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Yo, I hope they paid this man a fortune and he wins all kinds of rewards, because what this voice actor has done deserves like historic recognition. Oh my fucking god. I need to be saved.
Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
What a fucking asshole. I'm sitting here feeling like slightly bad for him, and he's like, I was just waiting to tell you this so that you could feel it and go fuck yourself. And didn't this all start because the review comment said he can't shut the fuck up? Isn't that why we're here? Now he's just not talking to me, really? How toxic can you get? Bro, come on. Oh my god. This is brilliant. I hate you. I hate him so much. What now? I assume it's the clock, but like, God. Nope.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think. To feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amused them endlessly from start to finish.
Oh my god.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
Okay, I see that he's
Where are the
looping.
jokes? Where are the
let me
jokes?
get out
They
of this.
bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It
Make it stop. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Can you imagine how cathartic it must be? Like, I know it's satire and it's funny, but like, how cathartic it must be as a developer to get to put that fucking rant into the game itself. Oh. I'm afraid to press the button because I know he's gonna talk more. But I need to press it to get to the eventual escape. I need to walk through the fire to get to the promised land.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
You've broken me. I'm sorry that I went down the wrong path. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please. Forgive me and let it end. What the fuck now? Wouldn't it be funny if during one of these clicks, and I haven't been, the one time I didn't look or something, there was actually a door to escape? And by funny, I mean tragic. Actually, real life tragic. Oh my god, it fell on the, well, the plant was dead. Let's be honest, the plant died a long time ago. But it still makes me actually sad that it fell on where the plant used to be. Oh god. The pain and suffering. Alright, we can see a light. We can see a light. Which means we can see a way. Jesus. Okay, I thought we could see a way. Maybe we can. Maybe this grows into like a tree and we can climb it and we can escape. And then it will be good. And then it will be good. Why is it dark? What is that? Did a boulder or something fall on top of the thing? Don't do this. Don't do this. Maybe if I just sit here, he'll talk to me. He'll talk to me and I won't feel alone. Why hasn't he spoken? Why do I miss his voice? I don't want to miss his voice. No. Oh, thank God. No, it's scary out there. Why is it a barren wasteland? Click. Click, click, click. No. I swear I saw something move right around this corner. I guess I did. And I guess you can't go up there. I was about to say, my plan is just to walk toward the sun until something happens. We're back. We're back. Maybe we shouldn't leave, though.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm stressed. I'm sorry. I'll go the right way. Just don't hurt me again, please. New cut. Why are you doing this to me? I'm scared to go. Fuck. He's gonna hurt me again. He will.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
It says new. I gotta get that new. What if it's the same new again, though? Did it say new before? I can't trust him. I can't trust him. I can't. Fuck. How about if he gets stuck again? I don't want to get stuck again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
In my defense, I actually forgot that wasn't the right way.
Stanley felt lightheaded.
Can I go?
Butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply, madly love.
You're breaking.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm sorry. I'll go. Just don't hurt me again.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I mean, I'm sure there's an opposite door.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Is it left, though? Is it left? I can't trust you anymore. All you do is hurt me. That's why I don't trust. That's why I always disobey. Because I'm scared of.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Now I want to go to the left. All he wants to do is hurt me. That's what he lived for.
No, not the right.
He feeds
Why
my
would
suffering.
I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll go back up the elevator.
Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
How's the Stanley Parable treating you? It's treating me to psychological abuse. The narrator's sole job is to hurt me. That's all he wants. He just wants me to suffer. And I let him do it. I'm letting him do it. Baldur's Gate.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Am I gonna do it? Am I gonna fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna do it, aren't I? I'm gonna go down the fucking new. It's not there. It's not there. And the doors aren't open. And there's more doors.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I literally had my hands over my eyes when I was in the monitor room. It couldn't have been me, sir. I hate you so much. God damn you, you bastard.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Why does he ask me questions I can't answer?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bruh. There's no doors in there. That's worse than the last time. Don't close it.
Okay,
No,
yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
I hate you.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I know this is what hell is like. This is exactly what hell is like. It's this place.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what?
God,
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No,
all right,
we're staying.
I've got a solution. This time,
Close
to
the
make
door.
sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is not the way it was before, man. Come on. It's this way. You know it's this way.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
But it was this way. You're the worst travel companion ever. I don't know why I got so nostalgic looking at Solitaire. Turn it off. It's a work computer. You do work here.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Keep it on the ground! Can't walk on the wall. I'm not Spider-Man, I'm just Stanley. I got Stanley feet, man. Someone else. Somebody has to be in these lockers. You're hiding from him. They must be. Didn't I say that the original was like water sound? I must have been young. Why is all this silly? Why does it zigzag? It don't need to do that. Just be straight. Be straight line. Mentally defeated.
Cut the music. Go back
and
look at that.
Do that. Cut the music. I don't want to look at the fern. I'm sorry. I went the wrong way. I just wanted to see.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
No, we can't follow the line. The line lied to us. Let's just go away from the line. Here, this is where we're supposed to go.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
God, I hate you. Somebody help me. If anybody hear me, will anyone save me? I don't even remember which way the line is going now. God damn it. Like this way? This looks different. Okay.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
I don't deserve this. Why is the line still here? We established the line doesn't work. Get rid of the line.
Stanley, I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Why don't we do that? Why don't we do it? Why not? Or we could just hide in the office and forget all this. No? Door doesn't close anymore.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go
Son of a
wild.
bitch.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Sir, we're walking in a circle. God damn ass. Oh, wait. It's not a circle? What? This is madness. This is mad. This doesn't make sense. How is that not a circle? Don't leave me back. Do not do it. Don't do it. Okay.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
You drew it, man. You the one drawing the line. Why can't it stick to the ground? Why does it go through the ceiling?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Evil
Just walk in
mother.
circles for a minute. Okay.
What?
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let's ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I've been going through the door on the right this whole time, brother. And that's why you're doing this to me. Because I keep going right instead of left.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean Did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
Someone come for us.
Will something happen?
Will something happen?
So,
Will one of the doors open?
okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure
I
if
don't
we're in
agree.
the destination or the journey.
Man.
Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
What the fuck was that horrible noise? Close the door.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
I forgot what happens when you
What
close
if
the
he
door.
had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay, I'm learning my lesson. Look at that, closing it with me on the outside.
All
I'm
of his
brave.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going. See, I can't remember if it said new before. What if it's the same thing all over again? We'll have to risk it.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
No. That sounded the same. That sounded like the same dialogue. You're stuck. Fuck. Oh. Shit. Yeah, sorry.
You see,
I don't think
Stanley,
we're gonna escape.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, it is new content. It is actually new.
Yes, you
I
see,
take it
isn't
back.
this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I know it doesn't matter, but why are there two phones? Right next to each other?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
You're not my friend, voice. I'm not happy when you're happy. I'd be happy if you were sad. Actually, you were sad that one time, and then I got real sad because you decided to share that sadness with me. You bastard. Let's take it again from the top. Same reason you might need multiple phone lines for calls coming in or... Don't try to justify the madness. How dare you? It's madness. That's all it is. It's kind of a nice looking office. It's kind of a chill vibe. I kind of like this office. Not that I'm complimenting the voice. I'm still sure this place is terrible.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
You know what? Fair enough, dude. I believe in you. You design your game however you need to do it. Let's way to the show floor. New features. All right, that's a little tough to make me go around this, and you know it. Come on, I'm the only one here. What is it? Why is this?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The reassurance bucket. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay. Why not?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Bruh.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I hate this man.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Couldn't you have at least made it say Stanley?
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon
What?
you'll start to lose all
Jim.
sense of who you
Jim.
actually
Jim.
are.
Jim.
This man made me Jim and then won't let me be Jim. He's the actual literal worst of the humans. It's sick. He forces me to be Jim. And then when I embrace being Jim, because I'm actually happy,
I suppose
he
I could
won't
allow
have it.
only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
What? I kind of want to steal some of the merch. I would wear a couple of these shirts. I'm not gonna lie. I would wear a couple of these. It's a little toxic, but I would wear them. The reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Can I get rid of the bucket? Am I really gonna carry the bucket? I'm stuck with the bucket. What an asshole. That said, it made me slightly more attractive.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
No screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Is he serious? Is he asking me that? Do I have a... Oh. Stepniece. Honestly, I think this one makes more thematic sense, but I like the colors here. If you want the room to be more colorful, maybe we shouldn't get white and red balloons.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
I hate him so much. I hate him so much. All he wants is to make me suffer.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
You bastard. Goddamn bastard. What the... You heard Jim in the game. Goddamn bastard. What is this one? Epilogue. That feels spoilery. Okay, there's an exit that way. Collectibles. There'll be collectibles in the Stanley Parable 2?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
This is evil. This is dark, and this is evil. Where's the door? Don't do this. Am I supposed to walk forward? Am I even getting anywhere? Actually, you know what I seem to be? Jesus Christ. Are we just not going to acknowledge how scary that was? We're just not going to talk about
it. The worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I feel like I got turned around somewhere. The jump circle. Oh my god,
Stanley,
still got a jump
I actually
left.
think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the
You
sequel.
would think that. You would think that was a... Oh, what do you say? So what have you learned now? How's the story? Is there a story? What kind of question is that? You're on his side, aren't you? This man asked me how the story is. I hate it. Why are you doing this to me, narrator? The infinite hole? That sounds dangerous. Free, new, and easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Free achievement. Get yours. Pull the lever. Receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Bro, why is this machine so goddamn extra? Oh my. I feel like we're gonna die. We're gonna start over or something when we pull this lever.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
You're such a dick. That was worse than just starting it over. I'm being tortured by this man. He's the bane of my entire existence.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I guess I haven't seen the infinite hole, but I'm kind of afraid that I'll get stuck if I do. What is this? Oh no, this is the path from the I don't even remember what's over there. Opening rim depth. I like the whole, oh. Okay. These are, Look at the space, science, more hole, falling.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Why would I do that? Is he gonna be like, we don't have the technology for that yet? Why did I do that? Why?
You see,
Why?
Isn't it
shit.
wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Won't I just be at the top with a hole and fall again?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why do you want me to do it? Is the hole not really infinite? Am I
Okay,
gonna
Stanley,
splat?
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an
Really? You
extremely
blind
deep
motherfucker.
hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
This man really... He yelled at me and said I'm just unnaturally obsessed with falling because he didn't make the hole infinite.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Okay, you know what?
The problem is
Fine.
that you
I'll
like
take it this
holes
time.
too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough?
You know we're gonna do it
I'm
again.
Positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
A very aggressive divot.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes,
shit.
but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Why do I need the teleport? This is why you need jumping games. It's not working.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Evil, toxic motherfucker.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Evil mother. What is that noise? Is that the elevator? Did he take the elevator? You know what's crazy? Is it has become kind of an infinite hole in the sense that I'm stuck here forever. What the No, 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 no! Help, help! Best friend! Remember how we're best friends? Best friends for eternity? Help me, I'm falling. Friend? Friend? No, 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 no! Bucket! Get help! Ah, you can't throw the bucket. Ah, if I had stood on the bucket, maybe I could have got out. Why is the bucket on the ground now? Bruh. I like that line.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger.
Am I just legs now? Okay, I regret changing the song.
Stanley? Stanley! Oh good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
This evil, evil motherfucker. Let me out. I'm sick of the hole.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Fuck you, voice. All right. I'm not gonna go in the hole. I just want to see if it's still there. That wasn't a sexual thing. I don't know. You know what? I just want to see if it's there. I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna go in. Okay, there, see? You can't even go that way anymore. It's blocked off for my safety. This evil, goddamn motherfucker. We saw the collectibles. That is the exit. What is the new thing it's pointing to over here? What's new? What does that say? That's new. There's nothing there. We're not taking the exit, not yet. I know there's at least one thing I didn't see, and that's the epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh, that's what it was pointing at, the epilogue room, which did nothing. I hate this man. I hate him so much. Mostly infinite hole. I hate you. You antagonistic settings world champ. Hold on. There's no world champion setting or anything, is there? Fine. Keep your secret special bullshit. I don't care. I don't need it. I'm perfectly fine. I don't need a goddamn bit of it. Fuck you. Fuck you. We're leaving. We already went to the joke. Now I'm lost. I got lost. Where's the exit? How do I get out of this terrible, terrible place? One sec. Two. Is this the exit? I wasn't looking. No, this is the reassurance bucket. Where's the exit? Okay. That's a chair. This chair is actually starting to sound funny too. Been thinking I need to replace this chair. It's this way. It's this way. I remember now. I have a great, wonderful brain. No. For a second, I thought the exit wasn't finished. I was like, what?
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I saw everything there was to see, as far as I can tell.
So, Stanley, what do you think?
Oh, shit.
Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
If you reset and put...
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
You felt good about that.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait. Maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
What?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
This is some evil, evil goddamn shit. I thought it was gonna be new. You really did just change the splash screen. And the balloons. He put the balloons there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bro, come on.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I was gonna say that balloon is clipping, but to be fair, I don't think it was. Why is the bucket here? Can I take the bucket? Should I take the bucket? I feel like I shouldn't take this bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Why did I take the bucket? That's how I know this goddamn asshole has mentally broken me. I actually took the fucking bucket. I feel comfortable with the bucket now. I feel genuinely safer with the bucket. I'll admit that. I will.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Why are you doing this to me? What have I done? Why do you want to hurt me? Why does... He just wants me to hurt. I know I shouldn't go to the... I shouldn't go over there. And I know I should do it. Because if I go to the right, he'll hurt me again. But what if there's something cool there now?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I just wanted to show the bucket the meeting room.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
What?
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Hold on. The bucket hasn't seen the other shit yet.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Wait, what's over there? There's a trophy over there! I literally fell for the trophy bit. For real? I did that. I'm sitting here trying to get to the trophy. Just because he put it there, even though I know it's stupid bullshit. I don't deserve happiness. I don't deserve happiness. That's what this is about. That's what this is all proving to me. I don't deserve joy
stop.
and fulfillment.
Look there on the wall. You see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley,
You're so full
how
of...
could you think it was okay to
no
bring the bucket
buckets.
here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
You see what I mean? I said the bucket gives me comfort, as silly as it is, so I'm gonna take the bucket with me on my journey. But just like everything else, he has to take it away from me. My sanity, my dignity, and now he's coming for my fucking bucket. All I have left is this fucking bucket, and now he wants that too. He wants it too.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Evil, dirty scumbag.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
You know what? Break the cycle.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Don't bring out another...
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
It's a rust bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
I failed. Can't I leave now? And bring my whatever this is?
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is
What?
a bucket.
What? You're not gonna explain? You're not even gonna explain it? You're just gonna say that?
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both.
Gotcha.
You mean both? What? Explain!
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
He doesn't... He's not even bothering to explain it anymore. Am I supposed to click? There's nothing there.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Why are you doing this to me? Why is that music playing? Help.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay.
What?
Here we go.
I need this bucket. Don't do it. Don't.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
You know what? Let me just go ahead.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Let me just
Stanley
make
decided
sure.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
My bucket is still here.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
It really did. I hate that you made me love the bucket and then tried to take it away. But I love you for giving it back. I do. I am emotional about this bucket. Me and this bucket have been through a lot together. I will freely admit that. Come on, bucket. Let's go do things together. Adventure time. Come on, bring the
Stanley
bucket.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I love this bucket. It's everything I've ever wanted to be.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I want to show the bucket the top floor.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I trust the bucket more than you, so fuck off. Voice.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once
Okay.
again obeyed blindly.
What dark room? And why does it gotta be dark? I'm trusting the bucket a little less than before. Okay, but you know what? It's the only path, so I can't blame the bucket on that. No.
Now pick up the phone,
Said the bucket.
pick up the phone, and it will take
Bucket.
us back home, where we can go about life together.
Bucket, what are you doing?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time,
How are we sad
I
if we're
gave
together?
Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket, there you are. As long as you're with me, I can do anything. Hello, Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press M to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Where's my bucket? Where's my bucket? There it is. I left it in the office. We're gonna go back home, bucket? Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Fuck you. No. You're trying to turn me against the bucket. Fuck you. Me and the bucket is homies. You won't drive a wedge between. You hate to see us happy together. That's what it is.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't
That's
do
more than you've ever
anything
done for me.
else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Yeah. Fuck him.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know,
Bucket?
once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he
Where's the
trusted
bucket?
and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press H to ignore anyone in your life except for me. You goddamn right.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Is this motherfucker trying to seduce my bucket? You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Yeah.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Stop looking at my bucket. Press G to relive the same day with me over and over. Forever.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it is, but it's mine. You can't have my bucket. Voice?
Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's
No,
going
no,
on?
it's
Why
my
do I
bucket.
want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket
You
has to
don't
say.
wanna be with
Do
the bucket.
anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be
Not
less
like this.
confusing.
We're friends.
Yes.
We're
The
platonic.
bucket could tell
Man
me
in
what
bucket.
to do in this troublesome situation.
We are platonic partners.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the
No.
bucket, Stanley. I
Fuck.
need it. Give it to me now.
Ah.
Give it, or I'll...
No. He tries to take everything that I love. He tries to take everything. Go back to work. Where's my bucket? Where's my bucket? Where? Oh.
The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Don't you just feel more fulfilled in life when you have a bucket by your side? Maybe with the bucket I can survive the drop.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why, but Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Where is it?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
God,
Stanley
right.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I don't know. Even with the strength of the bucket, can I really make it alive through the door on the left? You know? What if he tries to get me again? He already tried to take my bucket once. Can we really trust him to not do it again? I don't feel like we can.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
I just want to see for a second if the bucket has any more opinions about the waiting room.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure. Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired. Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home. Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection. But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Literally, what? Why is the line
your
back?
friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
We already established we can't trust the Adventure Line. Come on. Also, didn't you burn to death? I just saw that. And you, pretending you love me. And you, never responding to me. And you. Well, I don't know what your deal is, but fuck you too. All of you have betrayed me at one time or another. Only the bucket can be trusted. Fuck y'all.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. I don't want to do that. I haven't agreed. Fuck you. It's Stanley Parable 2, now with Bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Oh.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Make it stop. Make it
Now
stop.
listen to me.
Don't let him do this.
It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I don't give a shit about fans. We're loyal to our homies, and our homies are buckets.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.